So there's a lot of things out there that people tell us to do, and we're never really sure why we're doing it. Like washing your hands or buying health insurance. The same can be said with certain things of guitar learning, like, oh, learn your chord voicings, learn your scales and stuff like that. But I think we don't really talk enough about why you even need to practically learn a lot of that stuff. So today we're going to take a very basic key of D progression, volume, D major to A major, B minor to G major, okay? Now we're going to turn it into something a little spicier. It's going to sound like this. So it's really just a couple different chord voicings and a little something extra going on with my picking hand, which we're going to talk about the picking hand later. But right now we're just going to jump into the chord voicings, all right? So this is in the key of 2020, the key of D. The first chord in the key of D is D major, right? You probably play it like this. I'm not even going to go over it. I'm going to show it how you used to play it, to A major, B minor, to G major. Those are the old days. In with the new, 2020, this is what's happening. Every D major chord from henceforth, the creed shall say, will be replaced by this D major 7 chord, right? Alrighty, people are like, oh great, another D major 7 chord. Guess what? Don't care about it. It's my channel, this is what's happening. Rocking out this Fender American Professional Telecaster. Awesome. I'll link you in the description if you want to check it out. Super affordable. But basically, we're going to replace this D major chord right here with a D major 7 chord. Okay, so it's not even technically a bar chord. I'm not barring anything. I'm just getting the root note, 5th fret on the A string, pointer finger, ring finger, 7D, middle finger, 6G, pinky, 7B. Okay, I can use my right hand to kind of pick through it. I'm just going thumb, pointer, middle, ring. That's going to be the basis of the finger style thing the entire time. And instead of playing it like a fool would play a D major chord, we're going to get a little bit of action, right? So what I'm doing here is I'm hitting the root note, and then I'm grabbing the rest of the chord. So my thumb is striking the A string, and then my pointer finger, middle, and ring finger are going to collectively grab the rest of that chord, and then the fretting hand is going to add a little razzmatazz, the new word for vibrato this year, right? So I've got root chord. I'm coming down, getting kind of a percussive hit on the strings, just using my hands and hitting the string set. Root chord. Any variation of that we'll do. We're just kind of adding a little bit different stuff, a little bit different sauce right here, right? So this is one voicing of a D major 7 chord. We're just adding a note to a regular D major chord, okay? You don't even have to know why we're doing that. Just follow my lead, and you will not be disappointed, all right? Now what we're going to do is we're going to directly follow this with different versions of the same chord, different voicings of a D major 7. It's going to sound like this. And it's really the same voicing in 2 different locations. So this is one reason you might want to learn different chord voicings, because anytime you see a D major insert whatever number, whatever crazy word, give it a shot, cycle through it, and just see how it sounds, okay? So this D major is essentially the same chord as this D major. Really easy. It's kind of in your grandpappy's old stupid basic D major right there. Instead of having 2 3 2 from the bottom up, it's going to be 2 2 2. All right, open D, 2 G, 2 B, 2 E. Okay, D major 7. Now we're going to add some more razzmatazz by taking the same chord voicing, going past the 12th fret, which is our octave number, right? There's only 12 notes in music, so once we do something past the 12th fret, we're just repeating it at a higher pitch. But instead of going 2 2 2 and open, I can do that same thing here, and this actually works. But I want to get the open string octaved up higher, like that. Pointer finger's grabbing the 12th fret, and now my ring finger's getting what was 2 2 2, but now it's 14 14 14. The great thing about going higher up is you can do a little backslide. Let the people know you're serious with the backslide. D major 7. Second voicing. slide it back, create the illusion that you know what's coming next. Because you do a dominant 7, all right? Again, your poor old grandfather playing his chords that he learned from some stupid Hal Leonard book. It's like, oh, now I'm going to play an A major. No, we're going to play a dominant 7. Open A, 2D, open G, 2B. Just like that. That's going to be the chord voicing we're going to go to. But first, we're going to do this version of it because this kind of... You'll notice that we're using 4 chords. I'm going to kind of pair each chord with a voicing near it. And then we're going to kind of do something different as a secondary option. So even though this is like an A7 you may be used to, we're going to start with the more bar chord version of an A7 to taste. But again, I'm just barring the 5th fret, ring finger 7A, pinky 7D, middle finger 6G. Lift your pinky up to make it dominant 7. Give it that spice. I can do the same thing I did with the D major 7, where I went root chord with that little percussive thing. Maybe I want to add it, maybe I don't want to. Same thing here. But now I'm just starting on the low E string, root chord, and then kind of getting a little bit of, alright, yeah, I don't even have to say it. Razzmatazz. Oh, this tally, love this tally. Alright, so after that, we're going to go to this part. This is going to be the part that we're going to pair different chord voicings of A7 into a different thing, just like we did before. We have this open 2 on the A, D, G, and B string here. A7, open voicing. Repeat the same thing. Everything's going to be 12 frets higher. So remember, the open string, that open G string has to be 12 frets higher. So that's going to be the 12th fret right there. Now I'm going to get 14D. 14B with my middle finger and my ring finger, respectively. And honestly, I don't even need to play the A. You can play the open A if you want. You can play it as a bar chord. I'm just really going to focus on these 3 notes to get that essence of that dominant 7 chord we did before. A7. All the way down. Even if you want to slide it, more power to you. Again, it makes you sound like you really know what you're doing. You're really just skipping to 12. Skipping over everything, right? So let's put them together. D major 7. Next voicing. Octave. Back slide. A major. Dominant 7. Open voicing. Slide. Into something new. What's the next thing? Remember what we did in the old days? The pre-2020 days? Back before we evolved guitar playing for the better on this channel? We played a regular B minor triad. No. B minor 11. This is something I started doing last year. Any minor chord I replaced with the minor 11 chord because it's easier to play and I think it kind of sounds better anyways, right? So this is the B on the low E string is the 7th fret. My middle finger is going to grab that. My ring finger is going to grab 7D. My pinky is going to grab 7G. And my pointer finger is going to grab 5B. Okay? Classy. Tasteful. Refined. These are all words used to describe this YouTube channel, and this is the chord. It really hammers that home. How much better is that than sad B minor triad? Minor 11, make them show that you have some depth to your personality, right? We can do that, and then go back to this area, but 2 different voicings, okay? So this is the first one we're actually using 3 different chords, but in kind of the same general area as the other way that we've been complementing our original chords to kind of keep the vibe melodically, harmonically, however you want to look at it, between all these chords, right? We'll call the first bar of each of these like our bass chord. The bass is going to be this. Then I'm going to do the lower voicing to the higher voicing. Bass. Lower voicing. Higher. Bass. Just like that, right? So we start with this. Same way as we did it before. Root chord, razzmatazz. B minor position, but we're going to hammer on a minor 7 chord, which is really easy. You just bar the 2nd chord, middle 4 strings, like that. And then with your ring finger and your middle finger, you're going to come down like that. From 2D to 4D with your middle, or your ring finger, and then from 2D to 3B with your middle finger, but at the same time, simultaneously. Sound of the pros right there. So again, you pick the strings as just a barred set, and then you bring down the hammer. Always a classy, really well-respected move, the minor 7 hammer on. Into what? What is this, like a minor 9 or something? What's happening here? So, same thing, we're gonna reflect that B over the 12th fret. Okay, so now I'm on the 14th fret of the A string. This is the second highest B on the A string. My pointer finger is gonna grab the 12th fret on the D string. My ring finger is gonna grab 14G, and my pinky is gonna grab 14B. Okay, so this is just kind of like a different type of B minor sounding chord that I can use to kind of vary things up, right? So B minor 11, hammer. And I think it just kind of sounds good, especially when you add a little bit of that. Really, that's something that we've been doing to kind of put all this together as like a glue, is take some of the higher voice stuff and really kind of milk it. It sounds specifically good on this Telecaster. Next one we're gonna do is G major. Oh, we're just gonna play open G major. Psych. No, we're not. Come on, you know better than that by now. Okay, so now we're adding a little bit of a change into it that almost sounds like maybe like a lead thing, if you want to look at it that way, but it's really all born of these chord voicings, all right? So the G major in this chord progression, again, the chord progression, the base of it is just D major, A major, B minor, G major. Super simple, you've heard it in a million different songs, right? You could probably even, again, basic way. I'm sure 20 different people will be like, oh, that's insert name of whatever song that comes to them, right? So the G major part of this that we're going to change is going to be G, major 7, then like that. So the G major 7 we're going to start with is pointer finger, 3rd fret on the low E string, just like you would do it in a regular one, but your pointer finger is taking the lead. Ring finger, 4D to grab the major 7th chord. That's where this chord gets its name from, because this is the 7th note in the G major scale. Little extra tip there for you. Pinky, 4th fret of the G string, like that. Middle finger, 3rd fret of the B string. Then we're going to go to the easiest voicing of the day, just your pointer finger on the high E string. And then you're going to open it up. So we're going to start with 2, E, and then go to open, E, alright? This right here, technically, is a G major 7 chord. Alright, we're just adding an F sharp to a G, a B, a D. Those are the notes that are in the chord. You don't even have to remember that. But this, easiest pretty sounding chord ever. And then I know the E happens to be in this key, so let's just open up the E string to kind of go. Right? Just something we're experimenting with that I think might sound cool, right? Now let's do the same thing. Reflect it over the 12th fret, okay? So 2 to open, and all the other strings are open, is the same as 14 to 12. Okay? And then it kind of has that really kind of this call and response type deal. So, again, 4 chords, just learning simple chord voicings and reflecting them over the 12th fret, and then just kind of putting some sauce on it with either fingerstyle, you do with pick, acoustic guitar, it doesn't really matter, but again, the whole thing sounds like this. Instead of D, A, I'm already bored. Just going through this very simple example. B minor. I still gotta do the G. Oh my god. I can't even finish it. Instead, it's being replaced with D. Slide A. Open. Higher. B minor 11. Minor 7. G major 7. They can play it differently. Even just changing and messing things up at the end with unlimited variation. So again, it's not about just doing it this way, it's about using your creativity, but this is one reason why you want to learn different chord voicings, because anytime you see a D major, a D chord, D is shorthand for D major, right, most of the time. You can always replace that with major 7, try a major 9 on there. Again, I really found a lot of joy just learning different chord voices and being like, okay, where can I put this to make it sound cool? Sometimes you'll whiff, you can be like, all right, maybe I want to start here. You know, that technically was not in the right order of saying in the key, but sounded good to me, and that was just randomly picking a chord voicing, slapping it on there. Right? And then just kind of cycling through it, and eventually I think you'll find you'll be more creative with your chord progressions and everything won't sound as basic. So thank you for checking it out. If you're interested in stuff like this, I did a whole class with my buddy Justin on it that just kind of goes over different ways to look at the fretboard that I'm going to make half off for the next 5 days. Only 15 bucks, super cheap. Let me know what you think. If you have any questions or comments, hit me in the comment section, Instagram, Twitter, or the website. I'll talk to y'all soon. Thanks a lot.